Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is another live edition of The Extra Point. Your boy, Mr. P.O. Coates, is driving the Double Dutch bus on this beautiful Saturday morning here in Dallas, Texas. We got the hit squad in the house, Mr. Michigan Mike, Miss Tasha T. Sizzle, decked out in their amazing blue garb. How goes it today, gang?
What's going on?
Sorry, I'm eating and it's peanut butter. It goes well.
It's a pregame tradition during March Madness. We have a ton to get to in an abbreviated show today, so let's get right to it. But first, a word from our sponsor.
We are sponsored by May Janes Coffee. That's MAEJANES Coffee. You can get your Colombian, your Honduran, and your Brazilian blend coffee, freshly ground or not, by my lovely daughter, Sasha Denise. She has what she calls syrups where you can flavor your coffee. She has the beans if you want to grind your own coffee, or she will grind it for you. Place your order and she will get it to you in a timely fashion. Shouts out to my lovely daughter who is actually now working on a film in Atlanta right now.
Is she down there with Tyler Perry?
No, it's not a Tyler Perry production. It is a movie that will air on Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I will have the official name of it next week, but it's under a code name to keep a lot of onlookers away. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
Again,
All
that's
right.
May Janes Coffee, MAEJANES Coffee.com. Every cup sold keeps a sister off the pole.
Yes, it does. And please be on the lookout for May Jane's Coffee launch party. Tickets are available. We have that website up on the screen. I believe the date is going to be May 14th. Save that date. We are very proud of you. She's now working on Wild and Out. Okay. We see you. Shouts out to the sponsor.
Oh, yes. Wild and Out, too. I forgot. She's doing Wild and Out and that movie. I forgot.
You stay away from that host. What's his name?
Dick
You stay away
Cannon?
from him. Now, you're gonna be a granny soon. You stay, May Jane. You stay away. You stay away. All right. It is the month of March, which means March Madness is upon us. Lots of madness gone down in the first couple of days, especially the first day. As a matter of fact, ESPN said this morning there was over 17 million brackets entered. There's no perfect bracket after 2 days, which to me is, hey, that's what they call it, March Madness.
I mean, and if you're saying you got a perfect bracket, you're lying.
If you're saying that you have a perfect bracket, you are telling a mistruth, and as my mama would say, you're a lie and the truth ain't in you. So that's part of the wackiness, the madness. We're going to get into a lot of NFL, but first, we want to get into, since college basketball is ruling the day today, we want to get into another team that may have busted your bracket. Shout out to the University of Kentucky for putting a flame to a whole side of my bracket. I think I had them in my championship game, y'all. I think I did.
Dang.
No one cares about my bracket. But I'm just saying, shouts out to Shamika Nicole checking in. But my bracket is busted thanks to Coach Kyle and his raggedy Big Blue. But ladies and gentlemen, there was another team that may have busted some brackets. A double-digit seed, an 11 seed, by the name of the University of Michigan. They get it done after a tumultuous last 6 weeks. They go into Indianapolis as a 6 seed, it's an 11 seed. They knock off the 6 seed Colorado State team, and now they have a matchup with our home state, Tasha, of the Tennessee Vols. A huge matchup against a worthy opponent, no less. Shouts out to Grandpa Langston checking in. Good morning to you, sir. Let's get right to it. Michigan Mike, this is a game that has all eyes on it. It's going to be the 4:15 mid-afternoon CBS slot on a Saturday. That's usually reserved for the SEC game of the week. So that shows you what CBS, the host network, thinks about this particular matchup. The biggest matchup of the weekend as far as the round of 32, in my opinion. Mike, does the Michigan Wolverines somehow pull it off and go to a 6th straight Sweet 16? Your thoughts?
I have them advancing. But it is a tough game because Tennessee's historically played Michigan in basketball really well. My years have phased me, but I think it was like 6 years ago when they beat us.
Yeah.
I think it was on Sweet 16 time. They're just very physical, and that's kind of with the young team that Michigan has right now. Being physical is how you get into their mind, and Colorado State's not physical at all, and we were still turning it over like almost 20 times. So that in itself, but I think that the shooting comes alive, or point guard hopefully comes back, and I think we get it done.
All right. Now, say it with me, Langston. You said it. You typed it out right. It's the University of Michigan. It just rolls off your tongue. You're looking good today, crew, decked out in your maize and blue. Now, T. Sizzle, let me ask you this. Let's say if Vegas is right, because Michigan is a 6-point dog. I believe it's 5.5 points right now. If Michigan does not get it done today and they bow out in the round of 32, give me a letter grade for what you think Coach Howard and the basketball program accomplished this year. What letter grade would you give them if today's the day that they bow out?
I would give them that 84C, because remember on our grading scale, the 85 made it a B.
Right.
I would give them that 84C because given how their season went, they were down in the dumps, and then he out here backhanding folks and whatnot. Because I'm not going to say I didn't say it. We were saying NIT. We were joking because we didn't even think they were going to make the big dance.
And in fairness to you two, at the time that you said it, it looked very, very bleak. We were going into a huge game without one of our best players, Hunter Dickinson. So there was that. Vegas agreed with you. Let's just put it that way.
And so for them to fight like they have and get to this point, but again, I don't really think that was an upset, with them winning on Thursday. That to me, that really was an upset. I just knew they would win that game. I'm not like Mike.
Even when they were down 15 in the first half?
No. And because I have CBS now on the cable over here.
All right. Congratulations.
So I could watch it. I'm not like Mike. I ain't gonna break down and defenses and schemes and strong. I just knew they was gonna win because hell, I ain't know who they was playing. I ain't know nothing about that team.
Wow.
I didn't see Colorado State either, but I knew it's Colorado State and we're Big Ten.
Right,
so.
and we're Michigan. And
right. And the Mountain West has had a horrible start to the conference as it goes right now. Boise State got mopped. Like a lot of their teams that were supposed to be the upper echelon really got worked as higher seeds in this tournament already. Yeah.
So yeah, I give them a high C. If you're talking totality, like regular season up until now, they're at the high C. If they beat Tennessee as I have them in my bracket, that letter grade can move up.
Okay, all right. So it's a 84, like a C plus that can trend upward, but the baseline is a C plus. Okay, that is very fair. Now, as far as for the nerds out there, here's the matchup that you want to watch if you hadn't watched Michigan play, because the game will be nationally televised in Nashville, Tennessee as well. One of our big fan bases. Hey, T. Sizzle with a fan in the comments this morning. Welcome, Morgan. Glad to have you on.
That's my sweet Morgan. She is an alumnus of Middle Tennessee State University, and I've known her. I've known her since she was in the incubation stage, since her mother was pregnant with her. So shouts out to
Morgan. Is that what you saying? You old? All right, moving on in a hurry. We are all getting better with age. Now, here's the matchup that you want to watch on today's game if you hadn't seen Michigan play, because I know a lot of people in Tennessee have been following the Vols. It's really going to come down to whose tandem is going to get it done the best. Tennessee has a talented backcourt in Kennedy Chandler and Santiago Vescovi. Vescovi hit 8 threes in their first game, a 30-point rout of Longwood, and they have been anchoring that team all year. Their Achilles heel is inside play, where Michigan has a tandem of Hunter Dickinson and Musa Diabate, who basically anchor their offense. So if Michigan can play their style and keep it inside, I think Michigan has a great chance to win. If they let those guards run wild, that's why it's going to be very important to have Devontae Jones back today, our starting point guard, because without his steadying hand, it's gonna be a long day. You saw how Michigan started shaky with Frankie Collins at the point guard position in the first game, having 9 turnovers in the first 12 minutes. Well, Tennessee forced 20 turnovers last game. So this thing can get ugly real quick if the guards don't step up to play. We shall see how that goes. Now, thinking big picture, I know our brackets are busted, except for Mike's. I don't know how in the world he's still at a 95% clip with all of the foolishness that's gone on the last 2 days. So we'll start with you, Guru Mike. Who do you have cutting down the Nets in New Orleans in a few weeks?
Well, I have my winner. We can go winner.
Yeah, who you got?
Actually, I'll start.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Okay, I got Duke winning it all. I think they go out with a bang with Coach K. I got Duke.
I have a problem with that answer.
My final four. My final four is Duke, Purdue, Arizona, and Auburn.
I'm sorry, but repeat that one more time.
Duke, Purdue, Arizona, and Auburn.
Purdue, huh? Now Purdue has a player that's going in the top 3 of the draft. He's the closest thing to John Morant that you've seen in college basketball the last couple of years. Tasha, is your bracket busted? Did Kentucky do you in, or is your champion still alive?
Man, Kentucky did me in with no grease. I only lost one of my final 4 because I actually had Kentucky in the championship game. So I did too.
My bracket is busted.
And Auburn. So now this kind of opens the door. I'm looking at my bracket now. This opens the door for Baylor because I did not anticipate Baylor going to the Final Four. This leaves it wide open for Baylor. It's theirs to lose. But I kind of like that pick, like Mike said, in Purdue. That Baylor-Purdue matchup could be really, really good. And, yeah, but I think it kind of opens the door for Baylor now.
Now, Langston, yes, sir. Make sure you set your alarm clock for 4 o'clock today because Tennessee and Michigan does square off in the marquee matchup of the weekend. This is more of a Sweet 16 matchup than your traditional round of 32 matchup. So make sure you get your popcorn ready. I have Arizona cut down the Nets. I like Auburn as well. Kentucky I had in my championship game. Of course, they just did me dirty. Baylor, if they can get past a streaking hot North Carolina today, then they have a very good chance of being back in the Final Four. But North Carolina is getting things rolling. Hubert Davis has got those boys clicking at the right time. You saw what they did to Coach K in his goodbye swan song up there in Durham a couple of weeks ago. Went up there and put them hands on them. now, you two are no longer welcome home ever. Well, we saw but go blue. Hey, this is going to be a grudge match of epic proportions. The extra point versus our hometown of Tennessee. Keep your eyes ready. My own mama FaceTimed me yesterday, y'all, after work. I was like, hey, mama, I thought we was going to talk mother-son. She wanted to talk about the matchups. She said Tennessee got something for us. That's her alma mater.
Well, when Michigan wins, tell her I got a Michigan shirt that she could wear.
Hey, can I fit it? I'll take it to her. Wink, wink.
You know what AP coach are gonna say to you, Mike? And another thing.
So to AP culture. All right. So at least, if nothing else, all of our championship contenders are still in the tournament. So you will hear us talking about this again next week. We'll see if they advance this weekend, and we'll pick that up on next week. But if March Madness was all about college basketball, the NFL sat back and said, hey, y'all want some madness? Hold my damn beer. Hold the whole case.
Where's the spoon?
The NFL has just flexed this muscle like, I don't care if it's Ramadan. I don't care if it's St. Patty's Day. It could be Easter Sunday. We are going to run the news cycle. And they have done so spectacular.
Why Ramadan? Out of all?
They've done so in spectacular fashion. So let's get to it. Deshaun Watson went from possibly going to the big house to the penthouse. The man has finally chosen a team as the Cleveland Browns, and they're going to pay him a 5-year deal worth $230 million guaranteed. Now, Mike, you the math man. You math, Mike. What is that a year? I didn't
man, that's too. No, I was gonna say that's too much. That's too much for him.
So let's start there. Let's start there. First of all, Mike, I'm coming to you first. Are you surprised that Watson chose Cleveland? And why do you say it's too much to pay him right now?
I honestly think so we talked about, I forgot who we were talking about, but we were talking about the different contract sizes, and you can clearly tell when someone chooses one route rather than the other route. And it's like, okay, and the winning's not necessarily important to you. It's the money. In this case, it's clearly the money and the brand, or like he wants all the smoke, essentially. Like you go to the Browns as the quarterback, you're getting the smoke there. And you don't have so much high expectations in comparison to like the Saints quarterback, Cowboys quarterback, like those, like they have high expectations.
Right.
So I think it's clearly just money. He just wants to get 5 more years or so in and just head on out.
Well, one of the Facebook users says it's always about the money, which is true. Langston says he went to the quarterback upper room. R.I.P. Deshaun. Tasha, do you agree? Has he gone to the quarterback upper room? We all know about the infamous jersey with all of those names of quarterbacks passed on that Cleveland jersey.
I mean,
just another.
Oh my God, they had 20 plus quarterbacks.
Since they came back in 2000.
I don't necessarily think he's gone to the graveyard, because Cleveland did have some upswing, and he is a much better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. But will he be on the field? Because remember, Roethlisberger got suspended for those games, and
with no conviction.
Right, and he didn't have a civil lawsuit though.
You mean suits?
Suits. It's plural.
Let's make that plural for the people in the back of the congregation.
Watson has 22 civil lawsuits, and the NFL is still basically saying they're investigating. There's no way that they cannot have him out this season or suspend him for some games, because the thing is, and I heard, what is his name? Dominique Foxworthy. He says winning trumps all. He says it, and it's kind of sad that no one seems to care about the women in any situation when it comes to things like this. They don't care as long as they're winning. And we know the Haslams make terrible decisions. Paying that man that much money is ridiculous. And they do have a clause where they necessarily not on the hook if he doesn't play this season or he gets suspended. He won't get all of his money. But I'm with Mike. That's way too much money to pay for this quarterback, knowing everything that he is dealing with and going through. And I know Mike hates Tua, but I like to give shots out to Tua. For how long had they been talking about bringing Watson in? And what did Tua do? Went out there, performed. He said a damn word.
Right. And
somebody on Twitter said it the best way. They said Mayfield folded in one day. He out here crying, woo, 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 woe is me. Like, that's
dragging his feet.
Yeah, that's why he's in the situation he's in. Now, Baker Mayfield is not a top-tier quarterback, but Baker Mayfield's a decent quarterback. But when you have
you said decent, that's the kiss of death for an NFL quarterback. Mariota was decent.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
if you're decent, you need to shut
He's not even decent.
Mouth. You need to keep your mouth closed.
Way to catch that, Devontae Adams, Sizzle. You caught that one.
Close. If you're a decent quarterback and you feel like you're doing wrong, shut your mouth. Just go out here and say, "Hey, it is what it is." They all know this is a business.
Well, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Okay, T Sizzle, Michigan Mike. I'm going to come to you because T Sizzle is retired on an island. Something that all of us want to do one day. Mike, you're in corporate America right now. Let's say you have your performance review and it's not what you expected from your boss. Then you go out on Indeed and you see that your job is hiring for your position. Just out on Indeed. Like they on Twitter, they saying, "Hey, we're looking for a new such and such." And you talking to your lovely wife, Stacy, and you like, "Stacy, this look like my job description." And she says, "Baby, I think it is your job description." So you got to be feeling some kind of way. And then to find out at that time that the candidate turned your company down and they come back to you and say, "Mike, what's good, bruh? You my guy." You wouldn't want to change the scenery?
Oh, I definitely would. I would first ask, like, what's the deal? Like, I mean, since it is just business, you can be direct with one another and just say, like, if you're trying to get rid of me, let me know so that I can see what other places I can go to. It's
Now,
just simple as that.
I want to go back. I want to ask you both this because this is an interesting statement. If Watson wins a chip in Cleveland, it will be bigger than what LeBron did. You agree or disagree, T Sizzle?
I'm inclined to agree simply because the Browns ain't never done ish.
Never since Jim Brown. That was back in the exploitation days.
Ish. I mean, because at least the Cavaliers, you had the Craig Elos, even though Jordan hit that shot and the 3 pumps, but they were relevant at that time.
See, Beady Head Jordan, I liked him before he shaved it all off. The Beady Head Jordan back in them 88, 89 MVP Beady Head. I'm sorry, keep going. I'm sorry.
So yeah, it'll definitely be bigger.
Mike, do you agree?
If Cleveland wins, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I think, too, especially in the
I think football is totally different, and kind of what we were talking about. Tom Brady. Yes, I said Tom Brady because he's the GOAT. Anyways, it's harder to change a team with that many players to the Browns who haven't won anything ever. LeBron, one of the greatest of all time, went to a team of 5 and turned it around and won it for him. Like, that's a little bit easier than a team, of offense of 11 or defense too.
Buckshot Jordan, I agree with the Facebook user. I agree with both of you as well. Considering where the Browns come from, and when you have the best player on the planet, it's easier to change the dynamics of a basketball team, especially when you form basically a super team with Kyrie and with Kevin Love at that time, than it would be to where you don't get to play defense either. So I agree. I think that would be fantastic. Good morning to my sister Stephanie Denise. Buckshot Jordan, they are on fire in the comments today. Now, Mike, Tasha, we're going to stay with Baker Mayfield for just another moment here. Because now, if you're the Browns, what do you do with him? And what's his trade value? If you're Indiana, if you're Carolina, if you're a team that's looking for a starting quarterback, what do you give up for a quarterback that you know they have to get rid of eventually? That surely has to plummet his value, right?
Most definitely, because they know first of all, the writing has been on the wall with Baker. If you couldn't tell that they didn't want him, you blind. And I got to change it from bright red to blind as a bat red. History, they're going to get very little for him because they know at this point Cleveland is desperate. They have to get rid of him because they're not going to pay Watson and they're not going to pay him that much money to sit on the bench.
And you cannot leave him in there to be a toxic situation.
Right.
That's what I was about to say.
Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Hardin. Next thing you know, Watson is walking around with a boot on his foot.
It's not just a situation. He's a toxic player.
Come on, Mike. Come on, bring it on. Mike.
It probably didn't help that, OBJ and him had beef and OBJ calling him out and, everything else that happened. He's like, all right, fine. I'm going to go over here and y'all are going to see what happens. And then he goes over here, wins the Super Bowl. And he's like, I tried to tell you that your quarterback was trash. So.
Now, you just said trash. Now, Shamika Nicole, I just hit you in the DMs and told you I loved you. And you say Mayfield is a slick another Tannehill. I feel attacked. I feel hurt. We know this, Shamika. This is not about the Titans' woes today. We know this. You are wrong for bringing that up. I thought it was love between us. Now, Langston brings up something that I want to transition to because he says Baker to Pittsburgh because he's better than Trubisky. So This brings me to my next question, T. Sizzle, Michigan Mike. Who's the best quarterback in the AFC North right now? Is it Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, or Joey Burrow? Who you got?
That's a tough question right there. I'm going to say.
I'm just going off of last season's performance. You got to give it to Burrow. Just off of because nothing has been proven this season. The 2022 season hasn't started, so you got to give it to Burrow as of now.
Woo! Y'all going with the Rook over Jackson and Watson? You mean Jackson Heights own Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson.
Mike, bring some clarity to this situation. Who's the best QB in the AFC North?
I'm gonna have to agree. Honestly, before Burrow,
that's a bit of a stretch with Tannehill.
Before Burrow coming in, I would have said for sure Jackson, but I think they've just been. It's almost like a Detroit Lions atmosphere in Baltimore right now. They're just like, he has talent. It's obvious. But man, after a while, it just mentally drains on you. I think that's where the point he's about to break, and he's just gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna just retire. Like, I can see that. I mean, he has the talent though, but I'm gonna go with Joe.
Says Joey Boy. Now Langston had his cup of May James this morning because he chose violence. He says we're a prisoner of the moment panel. So
yes, and he is correct because Watson has not been on the field in a year. I have not seen him in anybody's workout videos. I haven't seen him doing any kind of working out.
Well, you haven't seen him in a workout video, but you've seen him in some videos.
And the question was right now. So
yes, right now. So we
clarified, Mike. Clarified. We're gonna defend our honor today.
And Jackson, he was
another thing.
He didn't play well, so you have to go off of what you currently see, and that is Joe Burrow. He just came off a Super Bowl with that, after being sacked 5,273 times in the season, and he still made it to the Super Bowl.
And they still will suspend him, Shamika. That's what makes the money of this also crazy, because he's going to get suspended. If he's not suspended 8 games, he's going to be gone the first 6 games. Mm-hmm. We won't see him to Halloween at the earliest. And so with Cleveland, good luck with that. That's a long-term investment. But I honestly feel, and this is just me being maybe part messy, but just from what I think he went to Cleveland because he was looking for that guaranteed money because he has 22 settlements to get out of the way. And with 22 settlements, I'm going to need some guaranteed change just in case I get out there and I'm looking like Baker and y'all want to get rid of me. I'm going to need to take that money with me because these women, they need their money too.
And then, not to get too personal, but his hot to trot girlfriend who said she'd rather ride in that Phantom than cry in that Honda wants to be a rapper. So he's funding her quote unquote music career. So she wasn't going to.
Oh, no, not another Love and Hip Hop type situation. Okay.
She's been trying to be a singer. I mean, she's a very beautiful young lady. She's been trying to be a performer for as long as I've known about her on Instagram. And
right, but she sounds like Keisha and Pam from Total. I've done my research on her too. I don't see it happening. But we're gonna move. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Wait a minute, but I want to get you two on the record. Let's place a value on this. What's Baker's trade value? 1 first rounder, 2nd rounder, a 3rd rounder? What player for player swap? What are you thinking? Let's put a tangible number on
how
it.
much for 1 rib? That's his trade value.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Sean Bradley trade and give him a sandwich.
Ooh, wow! They said the great value ham that they be tearing when you try to pull it apart. Oh, y'all ain't never had those problems. Speaking of problems, do we have a problem in Green Bay now? Because one of Tasha's favorite players of all time, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, has also secured himself a bag. 3 years, $150 million guaranteed. After all of that he did for the last 2 years, he's right back in Green Bay, but it came at a price. It cost him his prized number 1 receiver, Davante Adams, who was arguably the best in the game at this point. Davante Adams turned down a matching offer from the Raiders to get the hell out of Green Bay. It's a toxic situation in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers said, F you, I want my money, and I want to have the ability to opt out of all of these contracts. So he's basically on a year-to-year deal for $50 million guaranteed. If I'm Davante Adams, I'm like, you're not about to retire on me next year and leave me holding my bag with Jordan Love because he sucks. If he didn't suck, we wouldn't be in this position. He'd be starting right now. Mike, did he cut off his nose to spite his bank account? Does Green Bay now still the contenders that they were the last 2 years when they went 13-3?
No, last year at the beginning of the season, we got a glimpse of an implosion happening. And I think this is just getting closer to that implosion. And it's kind of sad because he's not just he's tainting his legacy if he had one. And at this point now, he's just known as
he has one, but he is
he's definitely is dragging in the mud right now and just being a little baby about it. I'm not getting my way. Well, fine, then you're going to pay me then, and I don't want it to be this long term. I want it to be year to year, and I want to leave whenever I want. Like, it's just all this stuff. Like, go play football.
Right.
Like,
go win a championship game. Let's do that. How about we do that? Because we got people like Joey Burrow playing on rookie deals, standing in the Super Bowl at the 50-yard line, hand over heart, singing the national anthem. And your old, supposed to be the GOAT self, is still getting bounced out by Jimmy Garoppolo. Let me stop before I go on a tangent. Sizzle, the floor is yours.
Let me tell you something.
Uh-oh. Now, you know what's going to happen when somebody starts with, let me tell you.
I love all of this. I'm not going to take anything away from Aaron Rodgers because, as Stephen A. Smith said, he is a bad man, and he is.
He is.
But what Devontae Adams told him, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Woo-wee.
He thought he was the Pied Piper. He thought if I do this, everybody's going to want to be with me.
You ain't no Brady. They didn't come to see you, Otis.
Preach.
Don't invoke that name. And I love that this is imploding basically in Lyron's face. But at this point, I don't think Lyron cares because he has his money.
Wait a minute. But who cares?
Lyron Rodgers.
Okay, for the people who are watching for the first time, that is her official name for Mr. A-Rod, is Lebron Rodgers. Keep going.
Trademark pending.
I applaud Devontae Adams for doing what because that's almost giving someone absolute control as a player. And only Sifs deal in absolutes. If you're going to go and do all of this for him, and then you're trying to put me on a franchise tag, and you don't want to pay me my money?
And you know what? This sounds so calculated. Remember last year's Instagram post of The Last Dance? We thought it was going to be Aaron's last dance in Green Bay. He was telling Devontae, I'm about to get this bag, bro. You might want to start looking at real estate elsewhere. If I would swing on him on my way out of that locker room, I hope they don't cross paths. And I pray that Green Bay and the Raiders play within the next 2 seasons.
But they're giving when you give players that much control and that much say so in your organization, you're doomed. Because what if he has his money and then he says, "Yeah, I'm out," and then literally,
which he has structured his contract to do. It's a year-to-year voidable deal where if he walks away, they still owe him the money.
And why are they begging him? Why are they swinging off of his cones? Because
Mike, you answer this question, Mike. When she finished, I want you to answer that question.
Like they're swinging off of him like that. You haven't produced on the field in the postseason. You could have got a regular quarterback and been at the same place because it all matters. What counts is what happens in that postseason. Yeah, you do play well enough to get to the postseason. You play in the regular season, but when you get to the postseason, you ain't doing ish. So you could have got Jordan Love could have been back there because you don't have any success where it really counts.
Mike, can you answer her question? Why are they swinging from his gonads? Why are they caving in to this point after they were so hell-bent on moving on a few years ago?
That's what happens when you give the ownership to the fans. I mean, clearly the fans want him to stay there, and they're very loyal, even if the player's not loyal. So, I mean, it makes sense to me, but it's kind of similar to money's going to come into Green Bay no matter what we do type of thing, almost like the Cowboy Effect. Like, no matter what they do, money's going to go in there, and it's proven he could change the whole stadium dynamic, and people are gonna be like, all right, let's go check it out. Like, it's money.
Right. Right. I agree. It sounds like the Green Bay fans are content to just be irrelevant and just winning.
Right.
And like, okay, we're gonna be on Sunday night.
Living off of that past glory and the fact that you can't get a seat for the next 50 years. You will your tickets to your children or your family.
Right.
I think
that's true.
Off of that mystique. And like Mike said, Green Bay is going to bring in money just like the Cowboys. The Cowboys may not have the fan, but they still generating the revenue.
Right. And Green Bay is still going to be on Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. They're still going to be in all the primetime matchups. The 3 o'clock window on Fox, they're going to still be able to do that. Rodgers is the best regular season QB ever. Is that a compliment, Mike?
No, it's definitely not a compliment.
Backhanded compliment.
It was like Romo, you know.
Oh no, Romo made the show today. Shouts out to
Paper mache, Romo. Made of glass, Romo. The Derrick Rose of the NFL, Romo.
Now, Shamika makes a good point. She says they gave 12 that money after he lied and he didn't, and he was fronting on the front office and just being, you know what? When you reward bad behavior, you get no sympathy for what happens afterwards. If you let your kid cuss you out at home, don't you be embarrassed to try to beat them when they cuss you out at Golden Corral. I don't know why. Don't be embarrassed about that. All right. Now, Tasha, let me ask you one closing question on this one, because there was another person that decided to come back to his old team. I don't know. I think his name is Edward Thomas Brady.
The GOAT is his name.
Is his name. And bingo was his name, oh. Tasha, because Mike, look, you can look at Mike's expression if you're on Apple Music right now. If you're on Spotify, Mike is showing all 32 like he's in a Topol commercial.
You can see his tonsils.
You get right. He is smiling from ear to ear, covered by beard. But Tasha, let me ask you this, because the people want to know. I know I want to know. Who's more annoying to you, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? The floor is yours.
Most annoying, and it to me, it's always going to be Tom Brady. But I know
really more annoying than Aaron Rodgers?
Because
what the GOAT do?
They are the same. He ain't the GOAT. They the same type of person. They need the attention on them at all times. Because and somebody said this on one of the shows too. Brady could have waited until after the selection show. He took all the glory and the candor away from basketball by making that announcement.
I was mad about that because I wanted to talk about Michigan making the tournament, and then I couldn't find nothing on my team because everything was Tom Brady on Twitter. I agree. Right. Shouts out to Gary Young. He says Brady is most annoying.
And then he wants to blame him, and he got his daddy on there being Odell Beckham Sr.
Blame the media. Like they blame Joe Tasha.
It's not the media's fault because you said what you said, dude. And remember, I told you, I think I sent this to you. And I said, he's going to be petty enough to come back just because Adam Schefter broke that story and he wasn't ready to. But you were ready.
You talked about that too, Mike.
Because he got just to spite us. Shefty don't just be out here making up for shits and giggles. Shefty does his research. So you mean to tell me all these media conglomerates that got the word that you were retiring and you even kind of said you were retiring were wrong? You're just mad because they said it before you could just really officially get it out there. That is annoying AF.
Mike, they said they never talk about how Brady cheated like it didn't happen. Your thoughts on that, Mike? Mike is still basking in the glory.
Wait a minute, before Mike finishes, to Sasha's point, I said the happiest person right now is Big Ben. Because can you imagine going into Canton next to Brady?
Right.
You got
right.
Then you got Big Ben trying to do his speech, and then you got to sit there and wait for greasy-haired Tom to do his speech because you know they're gonna make him last. He's gonna go up there last. So Big Ben is the big winner in all of this. And Jerry,
you say Big Ben? I leave for 2 seconds. You come back with Big Ben?
No. The thing is, like Big Ben didn't want to retire with him because it's going to be all about Brady. Nobody would even care that he retired. They'd go into the same class. And I agree. I'm not going into your class. Get out of here, Brady.
I mean, you have to think with the past, I guess I would say GOATs in retiring, it's hard because you're at this top level and then you leave, almost like you leave a great relationship. You leave, it's gone. You're sitting at home. You're like, well, now what else do I do?
Right.
And so I think that's what happened for that split second. And he was like,
"Oh no, I can." In the comments though, Mike.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
that's right.
The
Mike.
GOAT's the GOAT. The GOAT's the GOAT. And I think what happened was he was trying to say like, well, the kids in my family need me, and Giselle was like, I mean, I didn't tell you to stop. Like,
hey, do you think Giselle was the one that told Adam Schefter the first time to speed up this retirement talk? Like, you getting out of the league now. Watch this. Hey, Adam.
No, I honestly don't think she cares. I honestly don't think she cares. But I think just him coming back. I mean, MJ did it, so why not?
They killing Brady in the comments. I'm loving it. Mike, you said, oh, man, I still say it's Aaron Rodgers. Like Langston said, his arrogance, the way he's condescending. Now, Brady's an attention whore. I get that. He is. But he's the GOAT, and he's a Michigan man, true and true.
He ain't
Rodgers, I don't got no love for
He's
California.
He
He's arrogant, he's condescending. He plants his own stories through Pat McAfee's podcast. He sent us on a 2-year journey to where he'll just float stuff out there. Remember the whole comment he wrote to Green Bay a couple of weeks ago on Instagram, knowing he was going to stay.
And Tasha's right, because he's the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT.
No,
you're right.
I'm saying Aaron Rodgers did that. Aaron Rodgers, remember, he did the whole goodbye thing, and he said, "Oh, I was flushing out my system and detoxing." And it's Aaron Rodgers. That's okay.
Everybody. And as we conclude to Tasha's point on Tom Brady being the GOAT, I have to agree with her. You know, I have to agree with that.
One is one Jerry Lee Rice. Thank you.
It's good. Okay. Look, now I know how she feels when I talking about LeBron and King James. Now I get it, because I want to throw this crown all the way through the customs and hit upside her head in the Dominican Republic. There's only one GOAT. That's Tom Brady, and I don't even particularly like Tom Brady as a pro.
It's Jerry Lee Rice.
Oh, wait a minute, Tasha, you got some help here in the comments. Joe Montana's the real GOAT.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Did she just
I think
that?
Peyton Manning is more of a GOAT than Joe Montana.
The lies.
Rodgers is a spoiled brat. I agree with Ms. Cerna that it's a spoiled brat. He's arrogant, and he thinks we're stupid. Brady don't think we're stupid. He just want to keep playing.
That's no, y'all let Rodgers run amok on you guys. I knew something was wrong with him when him and Jordan couldn't get along. You know, his brother used to be the quarterback at Vanderbilt. I knew something that boy wasn't right. So he's
And was trying to sell viewership to The Bachelor, though. You stop that, Jordan.
Even before that, the suit that he wore to that draft when he had to go back in that green room.
Now we're going to attire now. My goodness.
It further lets me know that he was problematic. So he ran y'all for a loop. He didn't do that to me.
Well, I'm sick of Aaron Rodgers, and the thing is, Tom Brady is like, okay, he's like it's like LeBron. He's going to get a leash with me for being the GOAT. LeBron is annoying at times. He can be self-serving, and he's going to interject himself. If you score 50 points, he's going to tweet at you so he can be on SportsCenter with you. We know LeBron does that passive-aggressive stuff. We know Brady does passive-aggressive stuff. But Aaron Rodgers, go away. Just go away. Just retire, for goodness sakes. Go away. So now we're about to come to the shout-out portion of the show, because we have to get Mike on his way to his day and get him back in time for the game. Sizzle, I wanted to say that for last for you. And look at her body language, YouTube. Don't you just love it? Do you have any shout-outs today, Sizzle, as we get prepared for a huge game in college basketball?
I have a shout-out to, I'm a part of this group down here in the Dominican Republic called the DR Network. And what we do, we try to do things.
Are y'all a step team?
Actually, it's all male, and I'm the only female in the group, the first and the only female in the group. They call me Lady T. But what we do here, we try to do positive things in the community while we're here, running amok. So what we're doing today, we are dedicating new basketball rims and nets to the Los Charamicos area, because Los Charamicos is kind of a real poor area. But we all kind of hang there, and their basketball goals and nets, because they love basketball down here too. It's just not all baseball, are really, really torn down. So that's what we're going to do today, present them with new rims and new nets. And we're also going to get a banner so we can put the DR Network on the on the wall around the basketball area.
Like on New Jack City when the CMB had their own basketball court.
Where
I walk out and they all cut them off with the guns. Mike, do you have any parting shots for today? All right, CMB.
Yeah. We have a very busy family day today. Cameron just finished his performance, so he just got back. Tristan has a soccer game.
What did he do? Play violin?
No, he played. What were you playing? French horn today? French horn?
Oh, okay, come on,
Oh, so
Brad.
he's a musician. Come on. We got to send you to an HBCU.
Suit and tie and everything.
All right. Shots out. Hey, like they said, come on. Some kids beating up Kid Ray. Shots out. So, Stephanie, go back
Come
to
on,
bed.
community and engagement. That's funny.
Right. Come on, community engagement.
Cold 10. Get them chains off the door.
I want to conclude the show with a shout out. For one, I want to give a happy heavenly birthday to my beloved grandmother, Miss Ruth Tate. Today would have been her 93rd birthday. So happy heavenly birthday to you. Make sure you show James around the ropes. Make sure you show him where the kitchen is and where the cupboard is, because you know he's up there, he want to eat. So shouts out to him.
And make sure you make him say, she's your queen to be. You remember James used to say that?
I do remember that. And last but not least, I'm going to deem today Coulter madness in the Coulter household. There's a civil war going on. My mama's alma mater's taking on my Michigan Wolverines. The game before that, my brother's North Carolina Tar Heels is playing Baylor. So there's going to be a lot of asses on couches in the Coulter household today. We will be watching each other's games. May the best two advance. Sorry, mama. I love you, mama, but y'all got to today. We will see y'all next week. We will pick up NFL talk. We got a ton of Cowboys to get to next week. So you Cowboys lovers and haters, make sure y'all get ready for next week because the flamethrower is coming out. I am sick of Jerry and Stephen Jones. I'll get to that rant next week. Until then, y'all be blessed. Go Blue.
Go Blue. Vamos Azul.